So this is a Pythagorean identity problem. This time we're given cosine is negative 0.901, and we're asked to find sine. This inequality right here is telling us which quadrant the angle is located in. In order to solve this problem, you need to know your Pythagorean identity. It's cosine squared plus sine squared equals 1. You need to have this memorized, and once you have it memorized, you can just use it to solve for whatever the question is asking for. So if you do solve this for sine of theta, this is what the equation looks like. Now, you don't necessarily have to have this second one memorized. As long as you have the first one and you know how to solve for sine, then you should be good. So what we're going to do is plug in our cosine value. However, before I do that, I need to make sure I know whether sine is going to be positive or negative. With problems like this, you are never going to have two answers. You have to decide between plus or minus. So here is our coordinate plane. Picture the unit circle on this coordinate plane. This is our starting point here at 0. Now the inequality that we were given this time is telling us that the angle is between pi and 3 pi over 2. If 0 is our starting point, pi, which is 180 degrees, is directly across from 0. 3 pi over 2 is the same thing as 270 degrees, which is down here. So all this inequality was telling us is that the angle in the question is located in quadrant 3. Now remember, cosine is your x values, sine is your y values. So in quadrant 3, x, or cosine, is negative since we're moving to the left, and y, which is sine, is also negative because we're moving down. So that just tells us that in our equation, when we're solving for sine, we need to make sure that we get a negative value because in quadrant 3, sine is negative. So all we have to do is plug in that cosine value. Please remember your order of operations. Those negatives do not cancel each other out. We have to do negative 0.901 squared, and then you do 1 minus that value. And then you take the square root. And again, don't forget that we chose negative here, so you have a negative on the outside. This should give you 0.4338. So the sine of this angle in the question is negative 0.338, meaning that its y-coordinate is negative 0.338, and the x-coordinate, or the cosine, which we were given, is negative 0.901.